What's up guys, ShinyHunterDestroyer here and welcome back to a brand new Pokemon Journeys anime discussion video. Today I will be talking about episode 64, which is titled The Detested Absol. Honestly, let's just get right into it. This episode starts off with Ash and Go telling Professor Cerise that one of their friends, Hannahz, who they met when they entered the Flute Cup in episode 7, was asking for help from Ash and Go to research the lack of spring water in Lava Ridge Town, and of course, this would end up with Ash and Go heading there to help. Upon meeting up with Hannahz, they learn more information about the situation, including more on why the town blames an Absol for the lack of spring water. So far, that they started organizing an Absol hunting squad. Hannahz shows Ash and Go a tablet engraved with unfortunate scenarios such as the lack of spring water the town is lacking now. Centered was an Absol who was believed to have caused all of this. After an Absol was spotted on the mountains, they started blaming Absol for what was currently happening. While Hannahz was making sure the Absol hunting squad wouldn't go out, Ash and Go head up the volcano in the area to investigate, since that's where the spring water originated. Heading up the volcano, they encounter Absol, who immediately retaliated, attacking both Ash and Go for what looked like no reason at all. Absol fled after the path was blocked by trees. They were confused about why Absol attacked them, but they continued on, finding an alternate path to lead to the area where the town gets the spring water. Once they get there, they find out that the whole area was frozen. Even digging down, it's still chilly down there. The spring water froze because of this, but that's super abnormal because the spring water should be heated up. There must be an outside source. A Glalie pops out from hiding and attacks Ash and Go, but Ash and Go get off the radar a bit after. After losing it, they follow Glalie to where they would be led to a different cave in the area with more Glalie and a Snorunt. Here, Go realized why the area was frozen. The Glalie wanted to make a space where Snorunt could be comfortable with it being cold, so they froze everything in the area. To fix this, Go thought to just catch the Pokemon, but before he could do that, Absol came back and jumped in front of Go, attacking and stopping them from doing anything to the Pokemon here. After thinking about why Absol would try to stop them, Go calls Hannahz and asks Hannahz to depict something more on the tablet from earlier. What Hannahz comes back with is that the tablet has a drawing of a frozen hot spring on it with a volcano erupting in the background. What Go concludes is that Absol was warning them that if the ice heated up all at once, the volcano would erupt because of all the steam building up from the frozen water, and that was shown in history as well. Therefore, to stop the eruption, they must let the steam out of the volcano and keep it from building up. They get to the volcano and start trying to chip at it, but it was no use. The rocks were able to withstand Cinderace and Pikachu's attacks. Watching on the outside, Absol sees what Ash and Go are trying to do and joins in with them, sending out its own attacks at the rock too. Eventually, after some persistence, they are able to crack through the rock, releasing built-up steam from inside the volcano. But that wasn't without consequence, as Absol had to end it off with a headbutt to the rock. But because Absol was so close, Absol got blasted by all the hot steam, but before anything too bad could happen, Go is able to clutch up and throw a Pokeball towards Absol's way, saving Absol. Go sends out Absol, knowing now that with the steam let out, there should be no more eruption. Go thanks Absol for the warning and tells Absol to be free to leave now, releasing Absol. However, Absol takes the Pokeball and touches it with its nose, returning itself back into its own Pokeball, agreeing to stay with Go. With that, everything else is settled, with the spring water in the area and now back to normal. After a little chill time in the hot springs and a wave goodbye, the episode comes to an end. This episode was an interesting one, alright. Interesting and a lot to talk about, I think. Maybe not a lot to talk about, but we have some main topics here in this episode. Obviously, the biggest topic here being Go and Absol, which I will get to in a bit, but I want to just talk a little bit about Hannahz first. I'm glad to see him back because it shows that Journeys is willing to bring back some character of the days. I mean, it makes sense for Hannahz, especially because the three of them, when they first met, really connected well with each other, so seeing that they're still acquainted is awesome. This makes me hopeful to see maybe more characters in the future. It makes me think that they won't just forget and throw out every character of the day they throw at us. And though Hannahz didn't really play too big of a part in today's episode, he still did some things in this episode and he vibed well with Ash and Go in the end. With that, I really hope that we can get some of the other interesting character of the days back, like Rinto, who even though didn't have much of an open last scene to his character, I think it would be cool to bring him back one day. Maybe not exactly like Hannahz, but in some way. Or maybe Tokyo. Maybe I don't know. I think if they bring back minor characters like that, oh, I just called them minor. Sorry. Just don't shoehorn characters back in. Hannahz didn't feel shoehorned in my opinion because his character really gets along well with Ash and Go. It's like they've had good chemistry with each other like forever, but all of us know this is the second episode we've seen them together. What makes it fit is how Hodge's personality fits with both Go's and Ash's. I think it's a really good fit for a minor episode like this, and especially because Hodge called in. It wasn't just, hey, what's up? But anyway, after Hodge, we have Absol and Go. This episode highlighted Go's thinking skills and the way he thinks himself out of problems, such as a hot spring we encountered today. He finds out anything he can, and when he's brought to a problem like Absol, he thinks about reasons because there's always got to be one, right? This ended up with him doing the right thing and not catching Glalie, and instead getting to the bigger problem at hand, using everything he could, even calling Hodge to check on the tablet one more time. I really liked Go's analytical way of thinking, and I'm glad that it's something that he still consistently does. And now that brings me to Absol. Can I first just compliment how the whole capture part of the episode went down? I was not expecting... It was so cool. Go caught Absol to make sure it doesn't get hurt from being burnt from the steam from the volcano, which is something reminiscent of the Suicune episode, as in Go caught both Absol and Suicune originally to make sure they don't get hurt. And dang, Go, that was an awesome throw. Of course, I'm not mad about this capture, as I think if anybody was to catch Absol, it should be Go. Do I still think this episode has some flaws though? Yeah, a bit. I don't know if I'm sold on the fact that Absol trusts Go already with Suicune. Go took care of it, gave it berries, made sure it was healthy and all sorts like that. See, there at the very least, Go was doing something a lot more towards Suicune directly. To be fair, Suicune is a legendary Pokemon, so naturally Suicune would be harder to get trust from, assumingly, compared to like Absol, but still. Not that it bothers me too much, because I think in the end, I was okay with it, but I wish that Absol and Go had a little bit more in this episode. I bet that Absol and Go are going to get more episodes together, because it doesn't feel like they did all of what they wanted to do with Absol here. I mean, this is just my hopeful thinking, but some development with Absol would be cool, you know? Not that I would know what they would do, because it seems Absol does trust Go already. I guess Absol did get its life saved by Go, so I mean, okay, maybe I understand the trust a little more. I'm super happy for Go though, and if an episode is able to make me squeal over a capture, I think that episode would be pretty good. I mean, as long as it gets a body of an episode to back it up. What I probably would have loved to see more of is more Go and Absol interaction, but seeing how Absol was in this episode, it also does of course make sense for Absol to hide itself, as it was set up to be mysterious this episode. But in conclusion, this episode was alright. Do I think it was the best episode yet in terms of captures? No, I don't think so. I think it could have been better, but I think that in the end, it was still a pretty satisfying watch on my end. I'm not mad about this episode or Go catching Absol at all. I just want to voice my opinions on this episode. I mean, I guess that's why I have this channel. On top of the Absol capture, I'm glad that we also got to see Hodge again. It was nice to see a minor character return, but also not hog screen time for himself, as he still played a minor role. Hopefully we get to see more characters return, but for now, we have this, and well, I still really enjoyed this episode either way, even after all those complaints. And that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did enjoy, please consider hitting the like button, because that is super highly appreciated. If you want to see more content like this, hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any more of my videos. What did you think about this episode? Let me know in the comments section down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Have a nice day, guys. Peace out. I'll make sure I do better at replying to comments today.